I can say that since the very beginning, since the very first day UAE got attacked, UAE authorities have provided a very effective protection and security for foreign residents. This is not only about how effective the UAE air defense, which is so impressive. This is also about how UAE authorities manage the crisis situation. I can share my observation here that UAE have a very well coordinated response among ministry and agencies. And UAE also providing us with a very good public communication, explaining to foreign residents about the real situation, what's happening on the ground, and how we can manage the situation. And lastly, the UAE government also explained to us about the mitigation strategy. This is not only about the safety of citizen and foreign resident here, but also about the mitigation in terms of economic sector. We learned that UAE have launched a relief package to mitigate the impact of the current crisis into economy. I think this what make us confident and feel safe in UAE. And in our part, we have 81,000 Indonesians living in UAE. So my job, my role at the embassy is to provide security for them, protection, and as well as to keep them calm. And what has been done by UAE authorities help us a lot to make our citizens feel safe and calm in UAE. We are following closely the current situation. Of course, there are a lot of measures that has been implemented by UAE authorities, but if I have to single out, one of the most effective measure is a combination between effective air defense and emergency alert. Within minutes, UAE air defense can detect the incoming missile and drones, and then disseminate information through emergency alert to every mobile phone in the resident in UAE about the incoming threat. This is very important for us because the emergency alert play pivotal role at least for two reasons. First, it gives us ample time to react and to take precautionary measures such as finding shelter and so on. And second, it will create a security feeling, feeling safe because we not caught by surprise because of the incoming missile and drone, because we know in advance. I think that's very, very effective for us to keep us calm and safe in UAE. Cooperate together on how to harness the potential of. Since 28th of February, we have recorded 128 Indonesian has been stranded both in Abu Dhabi airport and Dubai airport. Mostly they are Umrah pilgrim from Makkah. They are transiting in Abu Dhabi and Dubai at the time, and then because of the closure of airspace, they cannot continue their flight to Indonesia. And I would like to use this opportunity to express our appreciation to the fast response by the government, the UAE government, in providing our fellow Indonesian with accommodation, meals, logistic, as well as the rebooking for the flight so they can continue to Indonesia. So this is part of Indonesian who are transiting in UAE. The rest, as I said, the 81,000 Indonesian who have been living in UAE for so many years, they feel safe already. I cannot detect there's anxious or panic within our Indonesian community here. Yes, of course, there are some afraid, but because of a good public communication, a clear and precise direction on how we should react if there's something emergency happen, that help us a lot. In our embassy, we also, this is our job to provide safety to our fellow Indonesian based on the policy and information provided by UAE government. We disseminate this information to 81,000 Indonesian living in UAE. We have 3 times virtual town hall meeting to disseminate this information. We also create a contingency plan if there is an escalation, and we also providing hotline 24/7 that can be contacted by our Indonesian if they have emergency situation. So I think this is a good cooperation between authorities here in UAE and our embassy to collaborate together on how we can provide a safety feeling in UAE. To me personally, as diplomat who living in UAE, I arrived in UAE in November last year, and even after 28 February, I feel safe here in UAE. UAE is my second home already, and I can share with you that even during current situation, I can do normal activities. I can go to the office. I can still go for shopping. Even I visited our Indonesian communities in so many cities. Like I went to Al Ain, I went to Ruwais, I went to Madinah Zayed, I went to many times to Dubai, and I feel safe. And I believe the sense of safety also shared by our fellow Indonesian living in UAE.
I will show it. It's like action one, but this is a small one. So this is full. So
the collaboration and cooperation between our 2 countries is very wonderful. The communication between our 2 leaders, His Highness Muhammad bin Zayed and our President Prabowo, is also very intensive. President Prabowo has just visited UAE last February before the attack. And then after the attack, there has been 3 times phone call communication between our 2 leaders. So this reflects the close coordination and cooperation between our 2 leaders, as well as at the working level. And in a broader context, I can share to you that this year is actually a very good momentum to strengthen our bilateral relation, because we celebrate the Golden Jubilee, the 50 years diplomatic relation between Indonesia and UAE. And we discuss a lot with relevant authorities in UAE on how we can celebrate together. And we have a lot of potential to be explored together to strengthen our bilateral relation.
do you, just if it's really
Indonesia have a very strategic and unique position, both in region or in global arena. First, Indonesia is situated in a very strategic position. We situated in the 2 continents. We are situated in the 2 oceans. Second, we are the 4th populous country in the world. We have a strong and vibrant domestic market with almost 280 million people. And if you count the Southeast Asia nation, which is we are part of ASEAN member countries, the total domestic market in ASEAN is almost 700 million people. So this is a good market for us. And then we are also blessed with abundant natural resources and a very productive labor force. So that's kind of the strength that can be provided by Indonesia. Indonesia can also serve the UAE as a hub, to not only to explore the domestic market in Indonesia, but to also to explore domestic market in Asia region. So UAE can use us as a hub. This is also our perspective to UAE. We would like to use our bilateral relation with UAE not only to explore domestic market in UAE, but also to use UAE as a hub to the broader region, be it in Middle East, CIS, or in Africa countries. For us, Indonesia, UAE is an important and strategic partner for us. This can be proved by the signing of Indonesia-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement in 2022, now enter into force in 2023. And this is a good platform for us to further strengthen bilateral relation, be it in economic and investment sector. At the trade front, we have a very ambitious target. 5 years after the signing of Indonesia-UAE CEPA, we target to reach $10 billion in total trade. Now, in 2026, we reach $6.4 billion, still around $4 billion to go. But I believe this ambition is achievable. Even we can achieve more, because there are a lot of potential between the two countries in terms of trade. At the investment front, there are a lot of opportunities for investment of UAE to Indonesia, as well as investment Indonesia to UAE. Now, we have awarded the exploration of gas field in the northern part of Aceh, in Andaman Sea, to Mubadalah Energy. This is a good and ambitious project. We also having a collaboration with Masdar to create a renewable energy solar panel in Cirata Lake in Java Island, and we plan to do the second phase of Cirata floating solar panel up to 500 megawatt, and this will be the largest solar panel power in the region, in Asia, in Southeast Asia. And at the people-to-people contact, we have a lot of cooperation. This year, we are plan to be the guest of honor for Abu Dhabi International Book Fair, and we also will be the guest of honor for Al Burdah Award in November this year. And there are a lot of other potential for people-to-people contact. UAE have cutting edge and technology in artificial intelligence, and at the same time, Indonesia also offer talented person from various leading universities in Indonesia, and we also can provide the data center, which is very important for artificial intelligence. So I believe there is a big opportunities for Indonesia and UAE to cooperate together on how we can harness the potential of artificial intelligence in the future cooperation. And for diplomatic point of view, the role of diplomatic relation between the two countries, there is a two-pronged strategy. First, we moving various MOU that have been signed between the two countries into concrete project, be it in establishing data center, education, cooperation between universities, as well as cooperation between companies. And second, the diplomatic channel can facilitate the linkage between institutions in both countries, for regulators, for universities, and for the companies. So I think, again, there are a lot of opportunities, and when we are talking about globalization, when we are talking about the complex of challenges we're facing ahead, there's no escape. We have to use current technology, and artificial intelligence is one of them. And I think there are a lot of opportunity for both countries to explore together.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.